this conversation?
With a man vulnerability. One, and if you fumble the bag, it'll never happen again. He will never open up to you again. He will never express himself to you again. Like, man, very sensitive in that regard, man. It's because, society kind of programs us to be just hard and, cold and doing whatever we got to do to survive outside, and oftentimes that works to the detriment of our relationship and don't allow us to really open up to our woman like we may want to or should. But, as women, y'all got to understand that plight. So when he does open up to him, and a lot of women do this, man, open up, say something about himself, that's vulnerable, and then it'll be thrown in his face next time she get mad or something like that. The minute you do that, it's over. He'll never open up to you again. He'll never respect you again. That's just what it is. So you burn that bridge to the ground. You might as well leave a relationship.
He said you might as well leave that relationship. Okay. I might slide one more in there. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna drop another one. Got a female on this side. We're gonna drop one more too.
I'm not a man and I will never be a man. However, I'm not willing to debate what I'm about to say. So I low-key feel like now that I've healed and I look at relationships differently, men get the short end of the stick because you're not allowed to be sensitive, but how dare you not talk to me about how you feeling? Don't be emotionally constipated, but if you tell me too much how you really feeling, then I don't believe that you're man enough for me. I don't want you to be this superhuman all the time, but you can't take that S off your chest. Do not sit the world down off of your shoulders around me because I'm not willing to pick it up and help shoulder it. Like, you can't have boundaries. You can't have standards. You can't require a woman bring something to the table that you set before she was even in the picture. You're not allowed to have a broken heart. You're not allowed to be afraid of love. You're not allowed to have walls. You're not allowed to be vulnerable. There are so many things that the world will not allow you to do, but they also expect you to do the same thing.
Ooh-wee. They coming tonight. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and kick it off, and then we're gonna get right on into this.
You keep doing this, your man will never open up to you. If you keep making your man the problem, when he brings you a problem, he will shut down and never open up to you again. It's really sad because every time he comes to you with an issue, he becomes the issue. You had these bag of rocks that you didn't bring up. So it seemed like you were waiting to bring this stuff up when I bring you a problem. Well, now is not the time to bring up your problem. Now is the time for us to address my problem that I have with you. And don't get me wrong, like, your problems may be valid, but there's a time and a place for your problems. If you keep bringing up your problems when he brings you a problem, what you're doing is you're making it about you. It's not about you. It's about him. So you need to ask him questions. Questions like, hey, baby, what is it that I did that made you feel that way? I'm sorry for making you feel that way. What can I do better so that you don't end up feeling that way in the future? And after you guys have fully addressed his problem, at that point in time, you can bring up your problem. But don't bring up your problem if you haven't fully addressed his problem. Because basically what you're doing is you're making him the problem. And he's going to shut down if you keep doing that.
Men cannot be vulnerable because vulnerable in society is deemed as a sign of weakness. And if we don't know anything else, we have seen that in general, the society, women don't really care about what men think and how men feel. Because once we start talking that, then you're too emotional. Men don't talk. Men don't do this. Men don't do that. But you want us to talk, but you don't want us to talk too much. You want us to communicate, but not communicate too much. Only reason why you want us to communicate is to agree with you. Is to agree with your triggering, agree with your peace or whatever everybody talking about now. So, and then the other thing is that men are just not vulnerable in society. Had a example of that was a lady who was in the Trump camp. She had went on trial. She was one of the attorneys, and she was crying like a baby, just crying. I said a man could never do that. He would be seen as weak, as a punk.
That as women, we say we want emotionally intelligent men.
Right.
But then when men show themselves to be emotionally intelligent, then we get the ick. All of a sudden, he's unattractive. Like we're not interested anymore. So I agree. As much as I would like to say it's not the truth, it is. Like it's a very delicate balance. And I don't think as women that we don't understand that when we say you need to be a man's piece, this is what we mean. You need to be his soft place to land. He needs to know that although he might get judged out in the world, that when he comes to you, he can bring all of the things that he can't show in the world and can't say, and he can bring those things to you and lay them in your lap or lay them at your feet, and you're going to build him up. You're going to encourage him. You're going to nurture him. That is what we do. That's our nature. So when a man feels like he can't get that from you, I hate to say it, but sometimes this is what's driving a man into the arms of another woman. Because the things that they want to receive from you, they're unable to. And then, I don't like the idea that we're taking the things that men are giving us and we're throwing them up in their face. It's a bad look, ladies. I mean, we have to take this feedback and we have to hold ourselves accountable.
Straight like that. Okay. Let me go down to my guy Herschel. Herschel, did you catch any of the videos, man, or you need us to run something for you, man?